I have no idea if this is too loud. I should have checked it and compared it to the other one. Dropping it down to 30 anyways. Options. Closed captions disabled, thank God. You made some beef ramen and gave your cat some thalmon. New game. Previously on The Last Door. Jeremiah Devitt, alerted by the suicide and mysterious letter of his friend Anthony Beechworth, went in search for the memories of his past that he had lost. Devitt discovered that in school he had taken part in a strange experiment. Its goal was to peek through the veil, the thin line between common reality and the world of horror and madness that lies beyond, under the watch of the eye of the bird. During his search, he was inoculated with a drug they used back then. The serum made Devitt's mind travel for a few hours to the dreamlike realm of the veil. There he met his old classmate, Alexander Dupre, who urged Devitt to join his cause and cross with him to the realm of the bird. When Devitt woke up from his trance, he found himself deeply convinced by his friend's words. He traveled to Dupre's house, where he discovered his friend had dosed himself with a new serum, leaving a catatonic body behind. This new drug was capable of transporting the mind permanently to the veil and beyond. Finally, Devitt found a vial of the serum and had it injected. He met his friend again in the veil, and together they walked through the last door, entering a world forbidden to human eyes. Devitt's therapist, Dr. John Wakefield, worried by his patient's disappearance and strange visions, had sought the help of his colleague professor, Johann Kaufmann, an expert in the occult. Searching Anthony Beechworth's house, Wakefield and Kaufman found a disturbing returned letter in which Anthony had tried to warn Alexander Dupre of what could happen if the door was opened. He feared something from the other side might then come to ours. They are coming. No one's getting inside my circle, not without my permission. None of us could prepare for this. Is the music too loud? Visions screaming were merely a warning. Hold on. Options. Music. Go down a little. Now it is too late. They are coming. Who is they? Oh no, it's the door! The door! Don't open the door! It's just to the closet! Don't open the door! Oh my god. Wonder how many people backed it at this point. I love watching the ending and seeing how the backers went from a smaller group to much larger and larger and larger as it went on. They are coming. Teehee. Last night I had the nightmare again, but this time it was different. This time he talked to me. It was the same unknown street, void of any sound and life. I walked aimlessly as if I were lost. Then I could hear it, the broken tromping on the wet cobblestones, the familiar sound of approaching limp footsteps. Oh hey. Fuck. Then, as before, he stood in front of me, gazing unrelentlessly like he was expecting something. This time he spoke. Give me back what he took. Nothing else. Give me back what he took. No, I've fallen asleep again. What time is it? Dawn already. It is time. It was several months since Kaufman and I had found that mysterious letter in Anthony Beechworth's house. A letter never sent, with a cryptic warning of what would happen if a certain door were opened. It bore only the name of the addressee, Alexander Dupre. We felt sure Dupre was key to finding my patient and friend Jeremiah Devitt, who had disappeared in such strange circumstances. Troubled by the death of his friend Anthony, Devitt had visited the school of his childhood and had never been seen again. Kaufman soon conveyed to me his deep concerns and warned that I should conduct any investigations with the utmost discretion. He pursued his own research, though his thoughts and methods remained a secret. In his last letter, he requested that I visit East Hill Lunatic Asylum in London. There were reasons to believe that Alexander had been institutionalized there for many years. I was asked to confirm this hypothesis and, if it proved correct, to gather what other information might arise. I don't know if I ever played Season 2. This might be my first time ever playing this one. Because I don't remember any of this. Okay, what if I want to go up here? I think this is the first time I've played this one. Season 2, Episode 1, The Playwright. We'll find out. So this is East Hill Lunatic Asylum. I hope I can find information on Alexander Dupre here. Ladies and gentlemen, don't miss the latest news in town, blah blah blah. Sea monster found in St. Ives. East Hill Lunatic Asylum. Oh, I can take the courage and just go somewhere else? I don't want to go anywhere else. Bye, bye, bye. Illustrated. What can you tell me about this building? The asylum? I've never been inside, and I hope I never will. It's full of crazies, you know. Have you seen anything unusual around here? No, but maybe if you bought a newspaper. Good morning, boy. Will you give me a newspaper? Yes, sir, it's 6 pence. I'm afraid I don't have 6 pence. Can you make a change for a shilling? I'm sorry, I can't, sir, but you know where to find me when you have the coins. Bye, boy. Goodbye, sir. I'm a well-to-do doctor. I don't just hand out money. Stupid child. Backhand him. Backhand him for his insolence. I have a feeling we're going to want a newspaper. A few cardboard sheets lie on the bench. Each shows a perfectly symmetric design in black ink. Please do not touch those sheets, sir. They do not belong to you. Good morning. Ah, yes, a lovely morning. Sunlight of a quite fantastic character. I beg your pardon. The light, it makes everything look different. You see, light touches things, soaks into them, and changes their nature. It makes them shimmer and makes them die. You have some curious drawings right there beside you. Oh, you mean these? They are the only art that makes any sense here. The doctors use them to cajole some patients into revealing secret inner truths. I won't return them to the doctors until they've returned the art they've stolen from me. You live here in the hospital? I do indeed. My family is a generous benefactor to East Hill. They had me committed, but I don't blame them. They're just incapable of appreciating my art, or any art for that matter. They mistake it for insanity. What are you drawing there? I'm not just drawing, my friend. I'm trying to feel the light, to translate its power to the surface of the paper. Those animals don't like it, though. They don't want me to succeed, so they take them away. They take my drawings and they study them and they laugh because my eyes can see the light and theirs are blind. But someday everyone will understand. Who are they, the ones who take your art away? Ha, those foolish caretakers. They hide behind a big mirror where they think themselves safe, and they look at me, they observe me, they even take notes. Would you happen to know where your drawings are now? I suspect they are somewhere in the archives, since I've seen confiscated items taken there before. You seem different from the rest. Can I trust you? I've been trying to sneak in for days now, but Miss Riswell keeps a tight guard on the door. I even stole the key from one of those guards. You're a doctor. Surely you could gain entry. If you could recover my drawings, I would be so grateful. Here, take the key with you. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I'm looking for a man who lived here some time ago. Would you happen to know one Alexander Dupre? The name does not ring a bell. I have not been here long, though. You should ask the other patients. They may be able to help you. Some have been here for many years. Or you could ask one of the others, the brutes who keep us here. I must go. Have a nice day. What was the key for, he said again? An old key. Apparently it's been filched from one of the caretakers. The large door is made of strong metal. This must lead to a secure ward of the hospital. Inmate quarters. So even though the artwork is very similar, you can definitely tell that there's like an improvement over its visuals. Like the window down here with that little like faded out wallpaper thing that's going on. The magnifying glass definitely looks like it has far more pixels going on to it. Hello. Good morning, madam. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I am a psychiatrist. Oh my, good morning. Forgive my manners. I get so excited when we have visitors. We don't get many these days, and certainly we are lacking experts like you. What do you mean you lack experts? Every year we get less funding for the Crown. First the doctors started to leave, then it was the caretakers. Now very few remain. But we have a responsibility to our poor patients, do we not? We must care for them. They cannot be out living with the proper people. We must keep ourselves safe, and our patients too, of course. I'm looking for a man who used to be a patient here a few years ago. His name is Alexander Dupre. Did you perchance ever meet him? Alexander Dupre, yes, there was one with a foreign name. I remember something of him. A good man, if I recall correctly, an educated man, but there was something strange about him, wasn't there? I believe it scared some of the other patients. You never know with this lot. I'm sorry that I can't remember much. There have been so many people here, it's hard to keep track. Have you worked here for long? Yes, a long time. I can scarcely remember how many years. Time goes slowly in here, and the isolation, the rules don't allow us to leave. I don't know what is happening in the world anymore, but we have our duty, do we not? Who else will care for our patients? May I request access to the Institute's archives? There should be some information there about the man I am looking for, Mr. Dupre. I'm sorry, Doctor, but the archives are private. We must not allow anyone to access them without the proper authority. Many of our patients come from good families, you see, and we take great care to respect their privacy. But do not look so crestfallen. You notice how I said privacy instead of privacy? It's because we're in London. You would not find much in any case. It is a long time since they have been organized. A serene, bucolic landscape with gentle colors. A bookshelf. These books are not volumes of psychiatry or medical science, but old serial novels for patients to read. Portrait of a severe-looking man, most probably the founder of the Institute. I'm sorry, sir, the archives are off limits. Our work here takes a great deal of discipline, Dr. Wakefield, as I'm sure you appreciate. It is rewarding in itself, but... oh, I do wish I had something to occupy my mind more. To help me pass the time, how that would ease my burden. I shall not bother you then. I will find you a Rubik's Cube. And confuse you until I can go in there without you. An oil picture portraying Dimphna, patron saint of the psychiatrists, but also of those who suffer neurological disorders and victims of incest. She was killed by her own father, who chopped off her head after she refused to marry him when her mother died. This must be the recreational wing where patients relax and pass the time. Perhaps here I can find someone who met Alexander Dupre while he was institutionalized. A marble bust of Hygeia, Greek goddess of physical and mental health. The stone bust keeps the patients silent company. A sunny beach lapped by the waves of a gentle sea. A cheerful pastoral scene. We're in a mental hospital. We have to have someone dressed like a commanding officer. A man wearing a worn-out military uniform, lost in God knows what thoughts. Oh, thank God I don't have to talk to him. The warm decoration of this room suggests a great deal of sensitivity to the patient's moral needs. Oh, no, no. Excuse me, sir. I could not help but notice your uniform. Were you in the army? Leave me alone. I do not want to talk to a coward such as myself. You do not want to talk to a coward such as myself. Wow, sir. Leave me alone. I am just a coward. The warm decoration in this room suggests a great deal of sensitivity, blah, blah, blah. Variety of old-fashioned landscapes that portray nature as tame and welcoming. Good morning, madam. My name is Wakefield. I'm looking for a former patient of this institution. The rumbling. She doesn't seem to have noticed me. Madam, if I may persist, have you been living here for long? The rumbling. I'm looking for a former patient of this hospital. You may have met him. An eyeless gaze. I'm looking for a man that you may have met. His name is Alexander Dupre. What a strong reaction upon hearing Mr. Dupre's name. She must have at least met him. How can I get her to talk to me? Good morning, I'm a psychiatrist, Dr. Wakefield. Quite an impressive institution you have here. Can I ask for your assistance? I'm looking for a former patient of this institution. His name is Dupre. I'm sorry, sir, I have never heard that name before. Maybe one of your senior colleagues could know something about this former patient. Well, you could ask Miss Riswell at the entrance hall. She has been here for years, maybe for too long. You know we caretakers live here with the patients, and we are not allowed to leave the asylum's premises. This life can get to you if you don't take proper care. I try to keep as much distance as possible from the lunatics. The asylum is quite big, but I can't help notice there aren't many patients around. Well, apart from those in the isolation ward, it is true that there are not so many patients at present, but there are even fewer of us caretakers now. We are only 3 for the whole hospital. For what I've been told, in the old times, the income was enough to provide for everything we needed, a complete staff, proper accommodation for the patients, and the best doctors. But as the newer, bigger regional asylums were built, the Crown's support was gradually withdrawn from East Hill. Soon everyone started leaving, and this is what remains. Well, thank you. In any case, I will leave you to work in peace. Just a door here that I'm going to use. There's a thin piece of metal holding the window open. The window is closed abruptly. What is this? Thin piece of nickel used to keep the window open. Can I use it again? Let us keep it closed so the room stays dark and I can see clearly through the mirror. What? Oh, because it's a two-way mirror. Looks like a therapy log. Edward Roan, 27, acute dementia, September 25th, 1891. Mr. Roan's condition has degenerated since the last session. He is restless as if morphine had no effect on him. For the last week, he has been obsessive, troubled for reasons unknown. September 25th, 1891. The patient's dosage has been doubled to no effect. September 29th, 1891. Dr. Weddell has been attacked and bitten in the face. 4 men were needed to subdue the patient, Mr. Roan. 3 markings were found on his body upon examination. Self-harm is a possible cause. October 3rd, 1891. Mr. Roan is getting better day by day, both physically and mentally. His habits have changed considerably. He now shows an interest in religion and spends his time murmuring prayers, albeit ones unknown to my colleagues and me. Is that the same? Yeah. A glass jar full of a transparent liquid that may or may not be water. There's a coin resting at the bottom. Is that 1 pence? Half a shilling. That is 6 pence. I could buy a newspaper. Dark as the room is now, I can see through the false mirror. There's a man on the other side, heavily restrained, desperately trying to free himself. He has an expression of unbearable horror on his face. There's a door over there, but I don't know how to get to him. Can I talk to you about him? No. What about you? Threaten him with a piece of metal. I'm literally supposed to be a psychiatrist. Do not threaten people with pieces of metal to get them to react. That seems like the improper way to get people to respond. I would like a newspaper. 6 pence, is it? Here. Thank you, sir. Today's Illustrated London News. The first headline is about a grim case. Scotland Yard keeps its silence about the ambassador of Turkey, found dead last Saturday under mysterious circumstances. Our sources suspect he may have been murdered. The second, sea monster found at St. Ives. The remains of a serpent from a deep were found on the beach early yesterday morning. It is suspected they come from a seaside museum in Spain destroyed a month ago by the sea waves during a terrifying storm. There's another drawing advertising an operetta called Love Brushstrokes. About the asylum. Alright, you know there are always voices coming from the place at night, crying, singing, and the inhabitants cursing like damned souls. That's the usual. This night was different. It was all silent. I tell you, not a single noise in the whole street. I looked at the madhouse and saw all the windows black, no lights. Everybody asleep in that place. Now that's strange. Then I heard it. It was a scream like no other I've ever heard. Not of a man or a woman, but of a devil from hell. It's very curious indeed. Thank you for telling me. Sure. Goodbye, boy. Goodbye, sir. Can I take the carriage somewhere now? Or am I stuck here? What is this key for? Locked shut. I can't open it. Piece of metal? I can't open that heavy door with this. Inmate quarters. Wait. Looks very busy. Doubt he'd be interested in today's news. You know who would be? Miss Riswell in the front room. She needs something to occupy her mind, and I think that'll allow us to get into the archives. Why, thank you kindly. How thoughtful you are. This is the hospital archive where a record of each patient must be stored. If Mr. Dupre was really committed at East Hill, his file should be here somewhere. The portrait of a restrained patient surrounded by caretakers and a doctor. It's a beautiful portrait. I love the idea of like a restrained patient having their picture taken with a bunch of doctors going like... It has been a long time since this desk was last used. It is covered in discarded papers and pens and a noticeable layer of dust. So are they not even using this room? The drawers are all locked. Not for long, they aren't. Wait, shit. The cabinet contains many documents detailing the treatment of patients ranging from 2 decades ago to last year. His file is right here. Dupre Alexander, room 108A. All the files are missing. It's as if they had been torn out. Only a little piece of paper remains with an address written on it. Hall Street, 26. Could that be where Alexander Dupre lived before he was committed to this hospital? Paul Street. I should follow this new lead and see if it takes me somewhere useful. We're going to Paul Street, then. It happens a lot, though. They all need a photo, but some patients will not sit for them. That makes sense. Let's see, all the dates of this cabinet are prior to 1870. I'm looking for a more recent file. I'm trying to look through things. A metal locker, a small sign reads seized objects. Key. Some personal effects probably sent in by the patients' families but deemed unsafe by the caretakers. One of them is a stack of thick sheets of paper carelessly bound together, bearing the drawings and paintings of a troubled mind. Grab it. Can we look at them? Watercolor paintings and drawings of different subjects. A tree, a vase with flowers, something that could be a portrait, but the colors are dispersed, shapes broken, decomposed and mixed in a whirl of bright flecks. It's called art. They're all like, oh my god, this is not normal Christian art, and therefore, as a result, it must be banned. Confiscate it. My goodness, how quickly things change in the outside world. You know, you could walk outside and be all like, boy, a newspaper, please, because he's just right there. She's all like, no, I can't. I must not leave. Want your drawings? Here, are these your drawings? Great wonder, they're back. Someday they will understand light and shape as I understand them. Thank you, friend. If you want, take these cardboard sheets. Thanks to you, I have no more need of them. A few folded cardboard sheets, each one with a large symmetric patch of black ink in the middle. I've heard of this technique, but always thought it an eccentricity. Patients are supposed to see in them the deeper causes of their ailment. This is the first card. The shapes look organic. Almost like insects. I would say this could be a face. It looks like one of the masks. I know we should be taking our carriage, but... Crazy lady on the second floor, I'm wondering if you can communicate with her through these cardboard shapes. Miss Conhey is very upset. Please do not distress her further. What a strong reaction upon hearing Mr. Dupre's name. She must have at least met him. How can I get her to talk to me this way? Damn it, that's not it. Alright. Not what I want. Unless you can do this with this. No. You don't get ink blot tests. I think ink blot tests were proved to be, what's the word? Like, not, they don't work. Like, they don't work and they don't do anything like they originally thought they did. The door is number 24. I'm looking for number 26. That doesn't stop us from getting inside. Number 26 is the place I was looking for, but the door is bricked up. I must find another way in. Hall Street, and ends here at this corner. The windows are so thoroughly cemented over that it almost mixes with the facade. Bunk hokum, basically. Hi, Gruffalo. I think that's the last thing I had heard of the ink blot tests, is that they were found to be, useless. The ruins of an old chapel, apparently destroyed by fire. A mess of wooden planks and the remains of benches and chairs. There's someone on their knees praying, their faces covered by a hood. Wooden cross remains almost intact. An improvised altar covered in candles. With this candle, I can light my way back through the dark. So glad we got a candle for this. Oh, because there's that. Looks like this hole leads to the building next door. Just stole someone's candle so we can go and walk this way. This must be the interior of the bricked-up building I saw on the street, Mr. Dupre's former residence. I cannot tell who is depicted in this portrait since it is so badly damaged. It seems someone crushed it into the floor. The door is bricked up. There is something among the ashes. It's a piece of paper. It looks like some kind of message, but there's only one half here. The paper has been carefully burnt. Stop going in other people's holes. It's not polite. My God. There's a piece of paper on the table. The paper shows some seemingly random letters. It seems as if half of it is missing. I don't think it's the right two. One man in a high-rank uniform. He's missing an arm. Few books remain in the shelf, mostly doubtful treatises on chemistry and alchemy. Among the titles are Trithemius's De Lepide Philosophico, Gerber's De Inventione Veritatis, the anonymous work Turba Philosophorum, and Ludwig Prin's Mysteries of the Worm. A large metal safe. This is strange. I have put both halves back together, but some letters seem to be missing from the right half. The message does not make any kind of sense. It's a number combination, isn't it? And I don't know how to read this kind of... Unless it's 6 and then 5. Looks like the safe is working fine. I should give it a try. Or is it 515 that it's trying to show? That doesn't make any sense. It would be 615, right? 5. Wait a minute. Paper on the candle. There we go. The heat from the candles revealed a set of letters painted with invisible ink. That's why we couldn't see it. Alright. That's why the colors were different. So it's 6145. Wait, what did it say? The whole message is readable now. It seems to be Latin. I think it reads, I've seen a dead eyelid move. 6145. Alright. 6 1 4 Shit. Hold on. 6 1 4. There we go. It is empty. Wait, this is not a safe, but an entrance to a passage. It's completely dark. The only way to know where it leads is by crawling in. Ugh. Mathematic formulae written fast and carelessly. Some of these symbols I've never seen before. A list of numbers. It looks like some kind of calendar or timetable. A strange machine built out of wood, steel, and glass. Who the fuck is that in the chair? I wonder what its function could be. That's someone in a mask. If someone's sitting here wearing a horrible mask and a yellow robe, he's not moving. It's only a yellow robe. There's no body inside at all. What can be the meaning of this? Yeah? I have your candle, I'm sorry. Freaking the machine has stopped. You want something? Okay, goodbye. 4 chairs forming a circle as if the hideout serves as some sort of meeting place. That was the person that was, like, outside. The mask I found in Alexander Dupre's former residence. It's similar to those used by ancient Greek theater. The holes for the eyes are missing, so it would be impossible for the wearer to see a thing. The expression is one of excruciating horror. What is that on the... A military medal. There's a relief of Her Majesty and the Queen. The Queen, and several pieces of metal engraved with the names of battles unknown to me. Can I take it? I'll take this with me. Maybe it will mean something to one of Alexander's fellow patients in the hospital. That one guy. Mask with this? Is she just still sitting in there, just like speaking gibberish? She was praying. She wasn't speaking gibberish, but the fact that she just came in and just started, like... I mean, I'm assuming she was speaking, but she was praying. I think I don't even know what language she was speaking. It wasn't Latin. I think I got everything I need. Go back to East Hill. Pig Latin. I thought she was speaking like Spanish or Italian or something. This medal. I had one just like this. Got it after the Battle of Laing's Neck and Majuba Hill in 1881, a decade ago now. For distinguished conduct in the field, it said. What a farce. See, you were in the army as I thought. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Wakefield. Sergeant William Conghill, Her Majesty's 6th Light Infantry. Are you another one of those alienists? Do you doctors not realize that cowardice cannot be cured by your arts? Why are they keeping you here? The doctors say I suffer from a nervous disorder. I believe this is a term for when they themselves, with all their learning, do not know what to say. But I know the true name of my sickness. It is pure cowardice. I am looking for a former patient of this hospital. You may have met him. His name is Alexander Dupre. Yes, I did know a man by that name. We met briefly. He was here when I arrived. What do you know about him? He was a proper lad. Educated. He listened closely to the stories of the other inmates, but he kept his own to himself. We talked a lot. He was very close to Miss Conhee, too. I think they got here at the same time, but when he left, he did so alone. I wonder what has become of him since. Who is this Miss Conhee? She's a patient here, the lady with a tempestuous character. You may have encountered her already. She has not been the same since Mr. Dupre left, you know. She always sits to the side, alone and silent. I doubt you could talk to her at all, even if you tried. She sees things, or at least she thinks she does. What did you talk about, you and Mr. Dupre? We talked about my time in South of Africa. I don't like to talk about that, but he somehow made me want to. He was very persuasive. He was very interested in one specific story, almost obsessive about it. He wanted to know every little detail. Could you tell me that story? I'm trying to find a patient of mine who has gone missing, and this could be my only hope of finding him. I don't like to relive those memories. A missing patient, you say? All right. Maybe my story will be of some use then. It happened during the Battle of Majuba Hill. I am sure you have heard of it, in March of 81. The attack of the Boer army had taken us by surprise, and our regiment was forced to split up. We quickly found ourselves alone, just a few men lost on the barren plain, but I don't want to bore you. No, sir, you certainly aren't. Please continue. As I said, we were few, and we were sure the enemy was lurking out there. In the cold air of dusk, a thick fog formed quickly, masking everything around us. We could barely see each other. Then the others started to disappear in the fog, which was getting thicker and thicker. He's talking about the Veil. I could still hear their footsteps for a while, then nothing. I called their names. I didn't even see what the rest of it said. God damn it. I felt something in there, not far. A murmur or a beating, something alive, waiting. I can't read that fast. Fuck. All of a sudden, my feet felt something in the mud, the body. They were all there, dead. And I still can't read that fast. For fuck's sakes. Is there, like, an option to stop, like... No. There's no option to, like, slow down the text or anything. It's only on the scene while I'm having to move through it. Then the mist cleared out. What had happened? I never knew for certain. I didn't see anything, or if I did, my mind refused to bear such memories. What happened to Captain Skid? When he finally regained consciousness, it was like someone else looked out at us through his eyes. I guess whatever happened affected him, changed him. I know he came back to London. Mr. Dupre asked me of his whereabouts. Maybe he tried to contact him to hear the rest of the story. He was quite preoccupied by it. Do you know where I can find Captain Skid? The last I heard from fellow veterans, he had lost himself to a frenzy of alcohol, opium, and bad company. This downward spiraled him, as many others, to a wretched nadir, a dirty hole deep in St. Giles' Rookery, known as the Crimson Nest. Perhaps you will find him there, alive even, if you are lucky. Here is a picture of our regiment. You can see him there. Another place for us to go. The flashback needs a flashback. The flashback needs a chill so I could read it. Oh, wasn't expecting that. It is the isolation ward for you this time, madam. The face of the playwright, the face of the playwright! It's odd that only this window is shuttered. The curtain casts a mottled shadow over this corner of the room. Okay. That poor woman. They must have taken her to the isolation ward. Can I get to the isolation ward, or is it closed? What about you? Light floods the world with shades. I'd just keep this candle on me this whole time. Room 102A. Not much light manages to reach this room. Hello, my name is Wakefield. The butterfly is not what it seems. Excuse me, but what butterfly? There is more after the scarab. Is this the butterfly you talked about? It displays its wonderful colors, fills your eyes with awe, but this is only a show. Behind the veil, its body crawls on the dirty ground, hides in the darkness, and transforms. Another of its lies. So what would this be? Its dark body creaks and rustles with its blind movements. Slowly, step by step, it gets closer and closer and closer and closer. What about this one? It will come whatever you do. It will cry out loud, looking at you from everywhere at the same time. And about this one? Him. Him. His mask. My mate from the other room used to scream at night, always told us he could feel something under his bed. A presence, an eyeless gaze. His mask. Okay. Can you close the door? No. Just leave it open, it's fine. Room 104A. An old pendant on the dresser. It looks valuable. Take it! Belonged to someone and it's ours now. An old tarnished silver pendant. Room 106A. An impressive painting of a lovely maiden. It's equipped with a fitting, magnificent frame. An expensive-looking piece of furniture. There's nothing on it. A mirror covered in dust. I wonder what things it has seen in this room. It looks like there's someone in the window. It's freaking creepy. Is that window even real? Could this be the room of the patient's mate who was afraid of a presence under his bed? Ugh. The door is bricked up. Why would they do such a thing? I doubt anyone has slept in this place for a long time. The window is sealed too. Almost no light can reach the room. What's the writing on the wall? Something written on the wall. One of them came last night. I knew what it actually was because of the sign it carried. The sign of the eye. I killed it and hid it well. If more come, they will not find their friend nor use its eye. Where would you have hidden it? Well, you could have hidden it in this room. Dresser? Expensive looking piece of furniture. There's nothing on it. There's nothing on it, but... Candle, 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 candle. Can I use the candle in this room? Candle, 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 candle. I wonder if you have to do one of those things where you walk around the room until you hear something move, like one of the tiles is loose. Seems one of the tiles is loose. Cannot get it out with my bare hands, it's too heavy. Probably this. There's something here half buried in the soil under the tile. Ugh. It's a long dead bird, just feathers and bones. And an eye. It's holding something in its beak. Dirty and horrible, deformed glass eye. I'm so glad I have this. There's nothing else in there. Room 108A. This is the door is closed for good with bricks. They were pretending it never existed. They didn't even try to disguise it. Can I get some bricks? A bunch of bricks. Either the construction is recent, not yet finished, or they were in a hurry to seal this room. Can I get any bricks? It will come after us. Isolation cells. It's eyeless but not blind. The door is shut and locked. There's no way to open it. Can I... I don't know what to do with the pendant or anything. I feel like I'm very potentially done with here, but I'm not certain. Because we have the other location to go to now. St. Giles. This is the slum of St. Giles. The Crimson Nest shouldn't be far. Is the Crimson Nest just like an opiate den? Prologue. This is from his dream. He wants the eye. Would you like a pendant instead? The man, he looks like the man from my nightmares. He's blind in one eye. The empty socket glistens in the lamplight. He seems to want something from me. In my dream, the man had said, "Give me back what he took." Want this pendant? He's still staring into my eyes. The pendant does not seem to interest him. "Give me back what he took," he had said in my nightmare. Want the mask? He wants the eye. This must be the Crimson Nest. I have heard of such places where people lose their minds to opium shipped from the Orient. I never thought I would set foot in one. The small window casts a little light into the alley. There's something disheartening about its feeble glow. Yeah, because it's a frickin' opioid den. Please wake up, dear. Please wake up. An addict completely asleep. Please don't do this. Man with the lost gaze, his mouth open. What's the matter, madam? My husband, he's unconscious. Please, dear, wake up. I am a doctor. Let me see him. You're a psychiatrist. I'm so sorry. He's not breathing and he has no pulse. Your husband passed away hours ago. No, it can't be. Madam. I'm late. This time I couldn't save him. What do you mean this time? I discovered my husband's addiction to this hellish drug they call opium months ago. At first I thought he was sick as I saw him grow thinner every day. Then I discovered he was visiting this place. I was very worried. I tried to dissuade him, but he wouldn't listen. The addiction was stronger than he was. At times he was away for days. I would come here and find him passed out. The only way I could wake him was to put these smelling salts under his nose. Now it's too late. Here, take the vial. Maybe you will be in time to save another soul from this curse. A woman looking at the roof with her eyes going white. She's muttering some ramblings. The musician is intoxicated with the drug smoke that fills the air. The repeated arrangement gives the sensation that time flows slowly. A man with a lost gaze, his mouth open. Short-haired woman smoking without worry. Hello, I'm looking for a man who I believe frequents this establishment, a war veteran from the south of Africa called Skid. He is writing on a slate. Can you understand what I'm saying? He has written "can't hear," so I suppose I should communicate with him by writing on the slate. Looking for Captain Skid. Don't know. He doesn't know the captain's name then. Is this the right photograph? Yes. Show him the photograph. He's written something else. Object of value. What does he mean by that? He wants us to pay him. I like how we use the photograph in like a true hidden object game. We just go, yeah, and toss it off to the side. We're done with it. Pendant. The man is curled up under a blanket, trembling as if he was freezing. It could be an effect of the drug. A man lying on his back, his breathing raspy and layered with phlegm and other liquids. The smoke has eaten away at his lungs. This young couple seem to have come here together to enjoy this despicable vice. I don't know how poorly this was looked upon at the time. Like, I really don't know what the time period's thought process was on the opium dens. I'm assuming they weren't great, because any iteration I've seen, both from games and from Hollywood, has been that they've always been in really shady parts of town. But I mean, that could have also been a racial thing at the time, too. I don't know. If I remember, I'll look it up, because I'm curious. A table with several opium pipes on top. Some of them have been used recently. What's that? Chinese screen with floral arrangement. Is that him? It's Captain Skid, no doubt. He's unconscious, but he still breathes. Okay. Vile. Put on the mask first. Make him look weird. Make him freak out. You okay? What's the matter? Who let you in? Get out! My name is Wakefield. I need to talk to you. Are you Captain Skid, Her Majesty's 6th Line Infantry? That title belongs to me no more. Who are you and what do you want from me? Leave me alone with my misery. A soldier that used to serve under your command told me I might find you here, William Conghill. Yes, I remember him. We served together. I've made many mistakes trying to forget those years of my life. Now I'm afraid those memories will follow me to my grave. I'm looking for information about a man called Alexander Dupre. I used to know a Dupre. He was not a man, but a fiend. What do you want with someone like him? There are certain secrets that are better left undisturbed. Have you ever heard the name Jeremiah Devitt? I must find him. Devitt? No, I have not. A patient of mine has disappeared. Alexander is the only one that may know his whereabouts. If it is true that Dupre is involved in your patient's disappearance, then I am afraid the matter is out of my reach. Yours too. Now please leave me alone. I found your medal. It was in a house on St. Paul Street, door 26. You were there, right? You think you know what you're doing, but you cannot imagine what you're getting into. I'm asking you for the last time, leave and forget this matter. I will not leave until I find the answers I am seeking. Tell me what I want to know. You fool. That's... Ah, for the devil's sake, all right. If you want to ruin your life, you are free to do it. What really happened on Mujaba Hill? Sergeant Conghill told me the story, but his details were confusing. I'll never be able to forget that day. Nobody knew what really happened. Command decided that we must have been ambushed. Now I know better. There was something in that fog. Something that did not like us entering its domain. Sentinel of sorts. That thing is what killed my soldiers. How did you meet Alexander Dupre? I was in the Veterans Hospital recovering from an illness unknown to the physicians. An ailment of the soul. Dupre managed to contact me in there. He wanted to know my version of the story, what happened to me in the Battle of Mujaba Hill. Inside the house, I saw a machine still operating. What was that? Machine? I do not know what you're talking about. That was just one of many places used as a base for Alexander's activities. The only one whose location I was allowed to know. Do you know why he was so interested in your story? I did not know immediately, but with time I realized. The truth about what happened to me was important to his activities, as was I myself. But if you think he tricked me, you could not be more wrong. I wanted to enter the dragon's mouth. I burned with a need to know. What do you mean, activities? What was Mr. Dupre doing then? You really do not know, do you? Have you ever heard of the playwright? We're gonna say no, even though one lady has said it. Never heard. I do not know what that is. As I imagine, you know nothing. Dupre is not alone. He is but the peak of a pyramid, a vast group in which powerful people take part. But I thought there were only 4 witnesses. See, this one's clickable. A society acting in secret ruled by a single sacred law. See that no one knows. I was part of it. Dupre himself recommended me. We gathered every month. What we saw, you cannot imagine. A curtain of normalcy protects the mind from something, an outer something. The fog of the veil protected us. But through the veil we could peek out into the abyss. We could know of the unspeakable shapes that writhed beyond, a black nothingness entirely full of horrors. We could never cross the threshold. What we saw was forbidden. Look at me, forbidden. I could not bear it anymore, so I ran. I ran and I hid from them. It was too late to run or to forget. I must go back to East Hill and try to talk to Miss Conhee. If what the captain said is true, she must have been one of them. She could know where to find them. Oh, she would have been. Can I talk to him at all anymore? It was too late to run or to forget. What the fuck? I cannot do this anymore. I don't care, I just want us to be together. You know it's too hard, I don't feel free. I know, dear, I know, we will figure it out. How are you home so early? I knew all along. Mrs. Snake, how could you? Mr. Bird and Mr. Wolf, you know you never loved each other. Silence, you have no honor. And you, what do you have to say? Why, I have given you everything. You wouldn't understand, Enough, you will leave in the morning. I won't see you ever again. I'll wait for you at dawn under the old windmill. So you can try to recover what little honor you once had. I'll be there. Where's Mr. Rabbit? The fuck? I must have fainted. What is this? Where am I? You don't have anything you were carrying. Cannot see outside clearly. Are you in Beechworth's house? Wait, whose house is this? A matchbox. This looks familiar. This could be useful. An old piece of furniture. The door is shut for good, and it has no knob, no keyhole even. There are marks on the dust on the floor. It looks like this chair has been moved recently. Shifting the chair revealed a small dark hole in the wall. Small hole in the wall. It's too dark to see inside. The match is too short. I cannot stretch my hand in further either to see what lies beyond the hole. got to be something else I can use. There's a blanket on the bed. I'm taking a shred of this blanket. Seems really odd to have to do that. Cannot see outside clearly. What about up there? Too dark to see. Shred. I would swear I saw a pair of feet in there. Who is there? We have met before. I cannot see you. Who are you? Do you not recognize my voice? No, I am sorry, I do not. Do you know what this place is? It is the starting point. The first place to look. But who are you? What are you doing there? Remember this, I will not be here forever. Darkness will light your way. Stay out of the light. Then I will disappear and you will be alone in the end. I don't understand. Tell me who you are. Door is shut for good. We draw the... Is there any curtains? Not really. Cannot see outside clearly. Blanket is now ruined. I can hear breathing beyond the wall. So just stay here? You can hear the breathing. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I must take it with me. Oh, blanket. Put it on the window. Roger Rabbit. No, there was a reference to... So the... Oh, the wall's gone. The three figures that were in the play was a snake, a wolf, and an eagle. And in season 1, there's a story that you end up reading about Mrs. Snake, Mr. Wolf, and Mr. Eagle, who were talking, and Mr. Rabbit came up to them and asked what they were talking about, and they said, "We're trying to discuss which one of us will get to eat you." And the rabbit gets afraid and says, "Well, I don't want to be eaten." And they said, "Well, that's not the choice that you're going to have to make. We want to know which one you think of us should eat you." And the rabbit's decision was the three of them should have a race to a specific location, and whoever got there first, the rabbit would be eaten by. And they all three agreed that was the best option, and they all raced off, and the rabbit used that opportunity to run in the opposite direction. But we're constantly seeing images of those caricatures, those creatures, in everything we've been seeing. Devitt. Fuck. Ugh. Tell me, why are you doing this? Is it because you care about your patients? Or out of scientific curiosity? Is it for your pride? Because it is your professional responsibility? Or is it because it's the right thing to do? Why are you doing this? No, Devitt. It's all right, mein lieber Freund. Well, how are you feeling? I feel dizzy. What happened? Where are we? At my house. I went to East Hill to meet you and found you out inside one of the cells. Unconscious, your clothes stenching of opium smoke. I had you brought here. You've been out for a day and a half. So we don't even know if any of that was real or if all of that was because of the opium. I think it's coming back to me. I was at one of those opium dens. I might have passed out after breathing that dense smoke. Listen, I have much to tell you. My investigation unearthed a great deal of new information. Alexander was indeed institutionalized in East Hill, but his files were missing. I managed to track down a man who knew him. He told me a story you would not believe, and... There was this woman, a patient at the hospital. She was completely out of her mind. She attacked me. What is happening to these people, Kaufman? How is this Alexander related to Mr. Devitt? I think this patient, Miss Conhee, might know how to find Alexander. We must go back there and talk to her, whatever it takes. I swear to God if he says there's no East Hill. I am afraid that will not be possible. What do you mean? Frau Conhee is no longer at East Hill. She escaped last night. Okay, at least East Hill exists. God almighty. Do not worry, mein Freund. I think I may know where she is hiding. Get ready. We must leave promptly. Don't tell me she's dead. They are coming. They are letting him in. Now that the door has been opened, they are coming. Oh, that was Miss Conhee. The playwright was created thanks to the generous support of players who participated in the crowdfunding campaign. They don't even say how many people. The adventure continues in episode 2. Statue description by Quaestor. Did I read the statue description? I'm pretty sure I did. Mirror description by... I like how the different backers get like different mirror descriptions. It's really cool. It's neat that they did that. We're going to end it here.